Alright mate, how you doing and welcome back to another video. Slightly different location for me compared to normal. I'm actually in a hotel in Oviedo in Spain. I came out here for the big match yesterday, big playoff game. I filmed it, there will be a video about it on the channel soon as I've had a chance to edit it. But first off, I wanted to make just a quick video talking to you from my hotel room about something that happened quite big in football, or quite big for me as a West Ham fan yesterday. Is Big Sam not having his contract renewed. He's definitely going to be leaving West Ham. I wanted to talk about the consequences of that, my thoughts on it, and where we go from here. Also, before we get into the nitty gritty, drop a like on the video if you're happy to see Big Sam leave. And if you're not happy, leave me a comment below, let me know why. So one of the first things I need to point out is that for a long time, I was a big supporter of Sam. He's been getting stick from the Upton Park faithful for a number of years. And until recently, I wasn't a part of that because let's face it, he was brought in when we were in the Championship. We weren't in a place where we could be picky about the sort of football we've been playing. We needed someone to do a job. And for me, Big Sam is pretty much the perfect person to do that job. If you're talking about getting a result with a squad that is not on par with the top teams in the Premiership, he's perfect for that. He got us up at the first time of asking, yes, via the playoffs, but he still got us up. And then in the league, he got us, very safe from relegation. We never finished below 13th in the 3 seasons he's managed us in the Premier League. And ultimately, he hit his targets. If you're a manager, all you can really go by is the targets you get given by your employers, the board, at the start of the season. And those targets, until this year anyway, will get us up. He did that. Keep us up. He did that. Get a decent mid-table position. He did that. But this year, you could argue that he didn't necessarily fulfil his targets. We were asked to play a more attacking breed of football. We got Teddy Sheringham in as the attacking coach. He's now gone, by the way, to Stevenage to manage them. And we first half of the season went great. Let's face it, we were top 4 at Christmas. We were doing unbelievable things, scoring lovely goals. The likes of Enna Valencia, Diafra Sakho, Kiate, all looked like top quality signings. And then after Christmas, it just went all wrong, didn't it? I mean, let's face it, second half of the season was diabolical. We just lost 2-0 to Newcastle, a team that couldn't get a win for love nor money. And I think that has sealed the fate of Big Sam. And another reason that I've always not wanted Big Sam out is because of this Olympic Stadium that we've got coming season after next. It's going to be a huge deal for the club. It's pretty much the only way we can become more of a powerful and successful club is by making our club more profitable because of financial fair play. We need to make more money before we can spend more money. You can make more money by getting a bigger stadium. And if you can fill it up, which is what we're going to try and do, you then become more profitable and you can spend more money on players and wages and etc. So it's a really big deal for us if we're going to go to the next level. And for me, the worst case scenario would have been playing in the Olympic Stadium and not being in the Premier League. Being in the Championship, for instance. With all due respect to the Championship teams, playing in the Championship with that stadium would have been a disaster. No one would have come, it wouldn't have filled up, we wouldn't have made the money we needed to make, and it would have been a failure. So, we needed a manager who could definitely, beyond all doubt, keep us in the Premier League until we got that stadium. We've got one more season to go, and like I say, until recently, I thought Big Sam was the perfect man for the job. Not forever, but just to get us to that point, to make sure we stayed in the league. I didn't think it was worth the gamble of getting rid of a manager who won't take you down. Yes, he won't play the attacking style of football, the West Ham way. God knows what that is, by the way, because ever since I've been alive, I've never seen us do anything half decent. We've never finished in the Premier League with a positive goal difference, ever. That's unacceptable. We've finished 5th. We've finished 7th in the league in my lifetime, and never did we do it with a positive goal difference. Find me another club that finished 5th with a negative goal difference. I'll give you a lot of money, because that is hard to do. I mean, maybe someone else has done it. I haven't checked the stats, but I'm pretty sure they haven't. I mean, it's crazy. In this season, we should have finished with a positive goal difference. I mean, we're doing so well before Christmas, and we haven't once again. Like, that shows we've never had a good season, really. We've never had an attacking, amazing, dominating season. The likes of Southampton and Tottenham and Everton have done over the years. We should be competing with clubs like that. We shouldn't be just staying above water and doing a little bit better than the clubs that get relegated. We should be doing better. Which is why the club have got rid of Sam, because they believe that there is someone out there that can make us become that club. The point I'm making is that Big Sam should not be attributed with the blame for us not playing the West Ham way, because long before his time, we haven't been playing like that. We haven't been playing like that for a long time, never in my lifetime. I don't even know what the West Ham way is. Is it Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters? 1966, that's 50 years ago next year. We need to get our head out of the sand. We need to get out of the past and live in the present. And so for all those reasons, I was for Big Sam. I said, look, let's just be realistic about this. Let's keep a manager in there that's going to do the job we need him to do. And then we can work things out in the Olympic Stadium. Get a new manager in then. No problem. But I have changed my mind. And I have to admit, I do agree with the decision the West Ham board have come to, because the juxtaposition of how well we've played pre-Christmas to post-Christmas is crazy. And you could lay some of the blame at the Andy Carroll injury door because he came back into the side, we started playing good football and then we lost him again. And by the way, the Andy Carroll situation was a major factor in Big Sam's tenure at West Ham never really going to plan. Because let's face it, not only was that his biggest signing, that was the club's biggest signing ever. And as a manager, that's kind of a landmark thing for you. That's your big milestone in your time at a club and it has to work out for you. And it didn't. And it wasn't Sam's fault because Andy Carroll's been plagued with injuries. He's never really been able to do what he wanted to do with the team with that big signing because Carroll's not been available. So you have to put a little bit of bad luck down to it. You know, what could West Ham and Sam Allardyce have achieved if he'd had those players, particularly Andy Carroll, available to him, you know, for a lot longer than he did. But Andy Carroll getting injured this season again did stop our flow. We started to play well with him when he came back. We changed our system. Instead of having Valencia and Sacco up front, we started doing stuff with Andy up there. But then when Andy got injured, it seemed like we didn't want to go back to the old system of Sacco and Valencia, two up top, the attacking way we'd done all of the first half of the season. It worked so well. We started to do things differently, play one up top, play Valencia out wide. Carlton Cole was starting games. Like, I don't understand why we did that personally, and I feel like Big Sam did lose the dressing room over the last few months. He hasn't been able to get a good performance out of us. The amount of points we've thrown away in the last few minutes of games has been sickening. And maybe if a few things had gone differently, we'd have finished a few places higher up the league and got a few more points and a positive goal difference. Who knows? The club might have kept hold of him for one more season. They might have done what I thought we should do and play the safe bet and make sure we stay in the league. But they've made the decision, and I do stand by it, because I think to give him another year or even a 2-year contract, which is what he wanted, it would have been madness after what we've seen over the last few months. The question is now, what do we do going forward? For me, we have to bring in a safe manager, someone that can do us the job of keeping us in the league. Yes, I'd be more than happy with getting a big name manager and someone that's, you know, better than Big Sam and more attacking than Big Sam and has more, you know, mainstream experience than Big Sam. That would be ideal. But who is that man, realistically, that's going to come to West Ham? We were getting linked with Jurgen Klopp. Come on, do me a favour. Rafa Benitez. I mean, if that happens, I don't even know if that's the right deal for us. Yes, he's an amazing manager, you know, on paper. He's won Champions Leagues, he's managed Liverpool, he's managed Chelsea, Europa League, he's managed Napoli more recently. He's getting linked with the Real Madrid job to take over from Ancelotti. Like, how can one manager be getting linked with the West Ham and the Real Madrid job? That makes no sense to me. And even if he did come to us, I don't know if he's ever had to do it with a club like West Ham. You know, we haven't got unlimited resources. We can't buy Higuain, or we can't buy, you know, Fernando Torres or whoever. We have to pretty much put up with what we've got. And it is an okay team for kind of mid-table Premier League, maybe up 7th or 8th maybe. Doubt we're going to get much higher than that unless we significantly invest. So do we want someone like Rafa Benitez, or do we want someone that can just grind out results? Maybe not in as ugly a way as Sam did. Maybe not parking the bus. But I do feel that we played more attacking stuff in the first half of this season, and that was under Big Sam's watch. Other people have been looking at David Moyes. Personally, I think that would be a good shout for us. If he's prepared to leave Real Sociedad and come back to the Premier League this early, I'd take David Moyes happily. I think he can do really well for West Ham. Slaven Bilic is a question mark because he's never managed in the Premier League. And yes, he's an ex-West Ham player. There's a lot of romance there. And I know he's been managing in Turkey, and before that he was the Croatian manager. But I'd like to see a manager, a more European mainstream club, before I can make a proper assessment of him. Likewise, Paolo Di Canio. Again, that would be an emotional appointment. Great link to the club. I personally love Paolo Di Canio as a player and what he did for West Ham, but you can't ignore that he had an absolute shocker at Sunderland. And is he the right man to manage us? At this point in time, I don't think he is. We need someone with a little bit more stability that can guarantee us Premier League football in the Olympic Stadium. So I'm genuinely interested to see who the board appoint and who's actually up for taking West Ham on as a job. Who do you guys think should get the job? Leave me a comment below. I'd really like to see who a realistic appointment would be. Who do you genuinely think would come to West Ham happily and do a better job than Big Sam has done in terms of results? Obviously, if someone can improve the attacking style of football we play, that would be good from a kind of aesthetic perspective. But if we don't go up in the league, then they've done worse, surely. I mean, look at teams like Blackpool under Ian Holloway. When they came into the Premier League, everyone gave them loads of plaudits for playing attacking football. But what happened? They went straight back down. We can't afford that to happen. So we need to have a balance between playing better football but also achieving the result we need in the short term, which is Premier League safety. Who do you think the man to do that is? Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this post-Sam Allardyce era reaction video. I've got no idea what's going to happen. I'm a little bit scared, but I also think this is an opportunity to do something good. And actually, if we get it right, if we get the appointment right, we can go up and we can become better as a club, and the future could be very bright indeed. I'll see you on the next video, but until next time, don't go changing.